The United States and Iran have paused attacks for a second consecutive day, creating a narrow opening for diplomacy after 2 weeks of escalating strikes and retaliation across the region. But the conflict is far from resolved. Iran has now linked an agreement with Washington to an end to Israeli attacks in Lebanon, while competing claims over the Strait of Hormuz continue to threaten global energy supplies and commercial shipping. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Mike Waltz said President Donald Trump was giving negotiations a little bit of room, although he warned that Washington remained prepared to resume military action.
As the president said, we are locked and loaded. Even more assets are going into theater. But he's giving talks some space. He's giving it a little bit of room. We've had both Oman and Iran and a number of our other negotiators engaged at every level, from the most senior levels all the way down to the technical level over the past few weeks and particularly in the past few days.
Iran's army also confirmed it had suspended retaliatory strikes against U.S. allies in the Gulf. An Iranian military spokesperson said that Iran's operations had been defensive and would remain paused for as long as the US stopped its attacks. He warned, however, that renewed American strikes could expand the conflict. The pause coincided with a visit to Tehran by an Omani delegation. Oman has traditionally acted as an intermediary between Iran and the United States. Iran's foreign ministry said the talks focused on managing commercial traffic through the Strait of Hormuz and had produced some progress. Pakistan and Qatar are also carrying messages between Washington and Tehran, according to Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai. For Pakistan, the diplomatic effort carries a major economic and security stakes. A prolonged disruption in the Gulf could raise energy and shipping costs, increase pressure on fuel prices, and widen instability across the region. But deep mistrust continues to undermine negotiations. Tehran says earlier diplomatic initiatives were followed by military attacks and has accused Washington of betraying previous efforts to reach an agreement. Iran's new Supreme Leader Mujtaba Khamenei has also placed Lebanon at the center of any settlement. Khamenei said Iran would not agree to end the war with the US unless Israel completely and unconditionally stopped its attacks on Lebanon. He succeeded his father, Ali Khamenei, who was killed after the US and Israel launched their war against Iran in February. The demand concerning Lebanon was included in a memorandum signed by Washington and Tehran in June. That agreement later collapsed amid a dispute over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran and its Lebanese ally Hezbollah have also rejected a separate US-mediated framework between Israel and Lebanon. That plan links Israel's withdrawal from occupied Lebanese territory to the disarmament of Hezbollah. The Lebanese army has accused Israel of obstructing the initial withdrawal process. Israeli forces, meanwhile, have continued operations in parts of southern Lebanon. The Strait of Hormuz remains the most immediate obstacle to a lasting ceasefire. The narrow waterway connects Gulf energy producers to international markets and carries a significant share of the world's traded oil and liquefied natural gas. Iran says a June agreement gave it authority to manage traffic through the strait during a 60-day negotiating period. Washington rejects that interpretation and has attempted to establish an alternative route for commercial vessels. The US military says its naval blockade of Iran remains in force. US Central Command said it had redirected 12 commercial vessels, disabled 2 that did not follow instructions, and boarded 2 others. Iranian media reported that the Revolutionary Guard had stopped 6 vessels using warning shots. Iranian officials also said an oil tanker struck a naval mine and exploded after leaving a route approved by Tehran. That account could not be independently verified. Iran has warned that vessels must coordinate with its authorities before entering the waterway, saying it cannot guarantee the safety of ships operating outside designated routes. Oman has reportedly proposed a regional consortium to manage shipping through Hormuz without charging vessels. Iran, however, is said to be seeking control of the mechanism and the collection of a service fee. Despite the pause in military strikes, vessel traffic remains exceptionally low. Fewer than 10 ships a day passed through the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend, according to a Reuters report citing data from maritime analytics company Kepler. Shipping is also slowed through the el-Mandeb, the strategic entrance to the Red Sea following Houthi attacks on Saudi oil installations and the group's announcement of a blockade against Saudi Arabia. Only 11 commodity vessels passed through the el-Mandeb on Sunday, the lowest level in months, according to Kepler data cited by Reuters. The conflict is also facing growing scrutiny inside the United States. The Associated Press reported that 4 US service members killed during the recent escalation were removed from the Pentagon's main Iran war casualty count and placed under a separate category called Overseas Operations. The same category listed 207 wounded personnel, although it was unclear whether all the injuries were directly connected to the conflict. The Pentagon attributed the change to temporary data problems, but it comes amid questions over military transparency and the cost of war. Trump has rejected reports that US military stockpiles are running low. American media, however, have reported concerns within the administration over the supply of missile interceptors and air defense munitions. Public support is also limited. A Washington Post Ipsos survey found that 29% of respondents approved of Trump's handling of the conflict, while 28% believed the war had been worth fighting. For now, the absence of new attacks has given mediators room to work. But the disputes over Lebanon, the Strait of Hormuz, and regional shipping remain unresolved. The pause may have slowed the war, but it has not yet created a path to peace.